Hello, 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 hello. Here we are with June 2023 World Records. Now, a bit before we get into the world recordings, for one, remember to send me any good world records. I've had a few off of Des that we're going to be looking at in August. So yeah, send me any world records, any runs that you're proud of that made it to a video. Yeah, send them over, send me the link, or just tell me who did it and what time they got, and I'll find it, put it at the front of that month's video. The other thing is, unless the thing has not been updated, the tracker for how much funding the server has at the minute is getting to a point where we are quite low before we're going to start to have server issues. So please, if you have the funds, obviously it is difficult at the minute, but if you have the funds, donate to the server. If you're not sure what to donate, think about a sport you may have wanted to play. For me, cycling. It's £15 a year sub to your to the club that you play for, and tends to be about a £5 per race sort of thing that you enter. So yeah, if you aren't sure, just if you can, chuck some money in. Goes a long way to keeping the servers up, keeping all of the servers up as well, the extra servers that we've had for the last little bit. So thank you for that little bit. Let's get into the actual records. We have the wonderful Riffo at the top, 60 records, absolutely smashing it out of the park. Shirasaki in a distant second with 34, and then it's quite close from there with Forever Last, WHT, Goon Cave, PH, you know, all pretty close. All the way down, a bunch of people with ones, 532 records set, and I think it was 30, I've lost my spreadsheet, where's my other spreadsheet? 31 players, and Riffo has been breaking my spreadsheet with having the what's it in front of his name. It means that we have 30.7. He adds a tiny bit with each. Yeah. Oh, there's definitely bugs, mate. But yeah, let's get into the records. Okay. Why is the now playing not working? Debugging stuff? Live. Hey, it's a Riffo record straight off the bat. Bug 82 RL. Got quite a few records to go through this month. 200 and I think 256 videos out of the 350 records that were set, which is a fair few. We got got a good mix. When I was going through, I was kind of, it's difficult to totally pay attention while I'm making the playlist, but yeah, I saw quite a lot of different maps. I saw a few maps coming up a few times, which is always good. It means we get to see a bit of progression. Yeah, good amount of names. I mean, 30 names setting different world records in this month. That's a lot. That's a lot of world records coming through from people. So definitely happy about that. The first world record this month, here's an interesting one. Right at the start, let's get some interesting facts. The first world record was set by Goon Cave Spelunking, which is why it hasn't been up. That was at 4 in the morning. This is UDT, is it? I can't remember. UK time. What's the one? Anyway, plus or minus 0 on the thing. That was set at 4 in the morning. And that was the first record. And then 7, which is about 7:45, which is I think 9:45, Riffo's actual real time. GMT, that's it. Yeah, that was the second record set. Wait, what's happened here? Why have I only got half the times? Oh. Some filtering's gone wrong. Oh no, there's records set after that. I'm not quite sure what broke filtering. A lot of records are doubled. Okay, never mind any of this. The last record was on the 30th at 1830. So not, you know, not running it very close to the line either end. Only one record set on the 27th. Yeah, that looks doubled. That record's doubled because it's a 20.72 time and then 0.028 of a second later the same time is set for that first world record. So there's going to be some duplicated records going off. We'll have to look into that, why they're duplicated. So I can see another one there. It just ever so slightly throws off these stats of 391 records, which might make it to why there's only 300 on the other record sheet. So that might pull from a slightly different data source or something. Because I'm not actually quite sure where these things come from. Basically, I asked Moro for some stats and he dumped me big files, and I didn't know what to do with the first one, and I literally was reading it myself. And then I've worked out how to turn it into a spreadsheet. And now I've worked out how to turn the other one into a spreadsheet and do filters on it. And I'm just excited. Oh, that's interesting. So the last time we saw this record, it was straight onto the bounce pad. So something must have changed in the spacing there to make that not fastest, to not go straight onto the bounce pad. Yeah, it'd be really difficult to remove duplicates actually, because I'd have to remove... It'd have to match map, time, and name. Because the created at is different. This thing on shuffle? Yes, it's gone backwards one. We've gone from a Xonotic soundtrack that I've specifically picked to start off with for the first song and jumped backwards up one or two to what we're on now. Cool speed maps are far from maxed, I don't think. Because I know they've been ground a lot, but have they been ground by... Like we spoke about this 2 months ago's recording? About people pushing each other. And it's like you push yourself and then the next person comes along. And there's also so many of them that has each individual map been ground to super high standards by top players, you know? And are these people that are setting the world records right now actually top players, you know? Compare them to the Dizzies and Macs, and they're putting in the grind time. But, you know, would Dizzy and Mac do better? And Kamiya and... It's an interesting one to sort of look at, because you never quite know who's top. Like, I'm not saying that these guys aren't ridiculously good, and that they're not top players. But you don't actually know if someone's a top player until they stand the test of time. The literal test of time in Xonotic. Dizzy's records from years ago are still standing. Up until very recently, Kamiya was in the top 10 and hasn't played in 3 years. And he's still got world records. So clearly they were doing something right. But when your records are standing the test of time and equipment changes and map wipes as well now. The shuffle really likes Xonotic soundtracks today. There's only 9 of them in here. No, there's more than 9. There's the entire Xonotic soundtrack. And then many hours of others. Wait, there's a finish there? I think I might have missed the finish sometime when I was playing that map, because I'm sure I went round that corner. Wait, Donald? Donald has played? When? Where's my last month? Because this one must have been set the month before. Maps. There is no Donald in the list. So it must have been a name change after. Interesting. Unless Donald's Dave from down the pub. Apparently, this month is Riffo's HP month. But so far, it looks like a continuation of the end of last month's rockets. But there was the inkling of HP. And we are kind of still in. Probably still a little bit in. Oh, maybe not. When was this uploaded? No, we're probably in actual June now. Almost certainly in actual June. Live world record on hook race, street race, 14 seconds, 14.25 seconds. Unfortunately, we can't see hook race records. They don't get recorded. If anyone is very proud of a hook race record, feel free to like upload it to YouTube and send me the link, because yeah. That was just clean. There's nothing really to say about it other than clean. The shorter cool maps are all pretty. They have to be clean to record now. I don't think I've played this, which is surprising for a cool map. flying. Absolutely flying, and that was my telegram, not yours. Classic.
We have a problem.
It is definitely on shuffle, and it's actually jumping around all of the things. I have... okay, about a quarter of the tracks in here as Xonotic. But that's a hell of a strange one to still be on there. But hey, it's a banging soundtrack. We've said it before. Banging soundtrack. Yeah. Archer's hacked my computer and just said, yeah, all of these songs, you only go play my songs. Somehow it plays a Warfork song that he made, even though I didn't put those in. Oh, the rocket launcher. Yeah, I don't understand rocket launcher still. I need to play it more to understand it. I really do need to play it more to understand it. Easy to understand, but to really understand it, to be able to talk about it, I mean. Like this I can talk about. That's mad. The spacing on that map doesn't work anywhere. The ability to get through there and make it look like the spacing works perfectly when the spacing is abhorrent is mad. A lot of maps in here are about making spacing work when it just shouldn't. And just finding out where do you lose a bit of spacing and sort of take an extra jump, or do you have to force absolute perfection to get -1 jump sort of thing. Oh my god. Well, that's not the normal route we see taken, I don't believe. That's a lot more speed than we normally see taken. So that's very interesting. Glasps, month after month, kicking it on slick. If there is a majorly slick XDWC map, money's on Clasps. 100% money on Clasps. It's very interesting there actually that you wouldn't normally take that route and go onto the slick, but yet it works on the slick because you're already slicking. I would find it funny if somebody took one of these maps and instead of making it all slick, made it reverse slick. Obviously it would be more difficult because you can't just put the setting of r_friction 0, but I hate this start run on that map. I hate start runs on anything because they're always a bit difficult and they always just mean that you spend less time actually running. Spend less time running the map. But at the same time, even worse, is a map that means that as soon as you move, you start the clock. Because my automatic reaction is just to backpedal and set myself up for a forwards walk, like exactly that. It'd be so difficult to break that habit, I feel. In fact, I know it is, because there was a XWC map where we started on a very small platform that you could easily fall off of. And I spent the first day just walking too far and falling off the platform because I'm so used to either having a big platform. Oh, jeez, that was nice. Yeah, you either have a big platform or a corner to back yourself into. Like, watch all these starts. Everyone sets themselves up and then goes. First thing you do, literally press your kill bind and turn around. I love how this map looks. I've got to say, this style, which is I would put Warsaw style down really. It's so good, just like that style. Mint in Duel, really good map for that. One of my favourite styled maps in the game. That was clean. So strange how this map was probably completely different in this game, because we've got instant firing grenades that you can use as a rocket launcher, and Quake 3 DeFraG doesn't. Was that slower because he bonked his head at the end? Or did the finish line trigger before that? I'm not 100% sure, I didn't quite catch it. Short maps, when you're playing them, feel so much longer as well. Those sort of 6-second maps, when I'm actually playing them, they feel like, they still feel short, but they feel a lot longer. Whereas I feel like something like this feels about as long as I'm watching it as it does when I'm playing it. I don't know if it feels shorter because there's a 10-second 5-second ending thing at the end of each video, but Look at that. That was beautiful spacing. Yeah. This is one of those maps where I think you can watch the world record jump. Because spacing. You either got it or you don't. Okay. This is an HP from Amino. Difficult map. Oh yeah, you've really got to get the spacing on this one. 3 seconds. Oh, and the splits are going to be useless because there's that 3 seconds one. He was probably didn't get high enough clips the trigger for the checkpoint. It wasn't high enough to actually get up onto the platform. So that's going to be a really difficult one to look at your times for. Des! We have Des in the chat. Yeah, definitely did an extra round around or something. Tried to get better spacing. And I think set himself up because he gained a second and went straight to the finish. So probably found a better route that set himself up straight into the finish. Garrett, you know, extra round, little bit of time lost. But boom, straight up. Yeah, that Des guy is an absolute pro. One of the best. Definitely one of the best. Most dedicated. I'm serious. You are one of the most dedicated Xenosticians. That was close. Oh, this must be a brutal record. Just look at the things you can bonk on. They're going so fast that you can't even count them, but look, every single corner has a little spiky outy bit on it that you could catch on. Oh, you could bonk your head there, and you could like probably get stuck there. You could fall in any of these holes if your spacing's just a bit weird. And you're probably going fast enough that if one of those walls isn't quite right, you could bug into it. With a bit of lag. Same here. Everything. Bonk on anything. Definitely something I noticed with shorter maps is there's a lot more shorter map world records where people will take the record then immediately start again. Like before the things stopped, you see them self-kill and then go again. And I think that's specifically just because it doesn't, like, it just shows that the record definitely isn't optimized because that person's immediately trying again. They clearly didn't get it, so it's a pretty good record because they didn't get it in the rest of the session. But like there, at least Riffo turned around and had a look. That was Riffo, wasn't it? I hope that last record was Riffo. Yeah, versus some records where they just... You just end and that's it. Nice one there for Amino. Oh, this map. Just the confusing cloud, textureless cloud things that only show up on some settings as well, so you may not have ever seen these before. I know I didn't have them for a while and then I suddenly did. But this is just a mad map. It's always downhill. Every landing is downhill. Trying to fit through one of those gaps. And then turn it around to finish. Just on the edge there. Waiter, my soup is cool. We'd be complaining if it was warm, because this is gazpacho. There's a good soup. Now all we need is Quesabrot to set a world record on this map. On the Telewochen. God, those undercut plasmas are super difficult. Like, you're basically just hoping that you keep yourself up enough to not hit. But change direction. Everything. Depends what soup it is. I've had sweet soups before. These maps feel almost like training maps. The way that they're sort of put together. And really focus on one specific thing. And I like the fact that they are very well built. Clearly specifically for the thing that it is. It's not like they went, okay, so we've got a plasma map. So just run the same one with a rocket launcher and a grenade launcher. You know, like you see sometimes. Like the cool maps are all rocket launcher and what's it? And you can do them backwards. Which does take design to make a good map that works with all three of those. But sometimes it's also just nice to have really specific. Rather than works. I did not think that was going to make it. For some reason, I still, when I'm watching these, get these thoughts that it's like, that's not going to make it. It's not going to make it. Even though it has to. Because this is world record. If it's on this video, it has to make it. Wow, okay, so that first shot just shows quite how much speed he wants to gain. Let's see. So not really going for an extra lap, just going very direct really, but round so that it just swings and that's it. Yeah, I think some work went into routing that, because you could see almost the routing playing off in the first record we saw just then, and then the second record we've like just seen, you could see that the route was definitely there. But that's cool that there's routing options on that map. I mean, obviously it's probably going to be pretty done and dry, but at the minute we can watch some routes come through. Oomph. A mistake in a world record by Riffo? Unheard of. Absolutely unheard of, but really nice end. Just running along that wall. Hey, Vinny. Now we're back on the map of Bonks. Oh, that was clean. That was so nice and clean.
Awesome.
Cheers, Philip. That was a nice... I want to say that again. So, there's no slick folliness involved. We line ourselves up with the wall, and just flick and get 500. Okay. Super clean slick there. Beautiful spacing. Look at that. Recovering from nature. Back with some weapons maps. Yeah, this is definitely the weapons side of this month. HP probably. Yeah, these maps are got to be HP, but when someone gets that super clean, that is going to look so good. Like, that was clean, but changed between each run, if that makes sense. Oh, when someone does that to the other one. Ooh. Yeah. Weapons runs. There's some good weapons maps out there that make for clean runs. But at the same time, there's some boring weapons maps. It's not like weapons are all perfect. Some incredible runs like that last one we just saw. In the same way that this is a pretty good strafe run. You got the spacing to watch out for. Everything going really clean, right up to each wall, changing direction. Bang on the edge of the line, everything. Everything's super toasty. I like this map. Yeah, this is a good map. Try and hit all the down ramps. And doing that is super difficult. Nice. Yeah, like Des said earlier after this map was on, the spacing on here, super difficult. You can see really clipping the edge of each of these blocks. Nearly over jumping it and then nearly under jumping the next one. And just barely skimming through some corners. Having to lay the power down with the strafe but also get some good side to side action. Bit of Yotun concrete. Do you know what we haven't seen this month so far? How many videos are we in? We are about 80 videos in. And we have not seen any long runs, like over a minute. That is interesting. Hold on, I want to listen to this one. I'm going to pause the music. I just want you to listen to this. What a relaxing sound right there. What a relaxing sound that is. Now imagine it if you're using Tommy's sound pack going hop, 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 hop. Oh, the spacing on this map is just impossible. I've beaten this map by literally jumping through it step by step by step by step, rather than smoothly flowing through it. I think I said the last time we saw this map, the next time we see this map, we'll see someone hit the down ramp after. Now we just saw someone hit the down ramp. Also this... Oh, only one bounce on that as well. I think that's the first time I've seen that, at least. Not two bouncing that corner. Really cool map. Really, 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 really cool map. The quick grass texture absolutely wreaks havoc on YouTube's compression algorithm, so I apologise for all of this. You're not meant to have any speaking. I downloaded 2 playlists that are supposed to be just pure instrumental, because I have been informed by reliable sources that it is potential that people who don't speak English as a first language and aren't very good at listening to English potentially only speak it online and don't actually speak it particularly. Wait, does that say copyright? Blog music, no copyright. Just stop talking. Nice saxophone solo. But yeah, apparently people, it could be confusing if there's speaking in the background and talking like I'm talking. So I was like, screw it. I like instrumental music as well, because then I don't accidentally think about what they're saying and try to work out the lyrics or sing along, which you really don't want. People who've watched my XDWC will know me singing to TikTok, not TikTok as in the app, TikTok as in a song that's really cool, and not the one by Kesha. I think TikTok by Kesha, maybe. There's another song. I've got a clock, it doesn't tock, it only ticks. Bonk Central. Oh, even further of not touching the ground. Absolute madness, that. Absolute madness, that map. Nice. Ignore the changing in size of that. I was trying to work out why it keeps going. Apparently cropped just minus a certain amount from the length. So when I cropped a really long song and it became a really short song, it just keeps cropping, which is why the song name keeps disappearing. So now the song name may become ridiculously long, as it's full length. But yeah. Another Crunkle run. How many Crunkle runs did we have in this month? Name Crunkle. We had an Iron Amino time, immediately beaten, or about half an hour later beaten by Amino. Then WHT beat it. Then this run is Amino time, and then there's another WHT time we apparently have. Yeah. Nice run that. I enjoyed playing that map when it was released as Quake 3 Walk Up. That was fun. Should get back into walk upping a bit. I just fell out of it when there was a few difficult maps in a row. And I just lost the passion for beating difficult maps, at least for me, to progress. But I should get back into it a little bit. This is another heavy, difficult spacing map. You saw him saw nature kind of scroll off to the side and then come back in. That has to make the spacing work. It's so difficult. You have to be really, really good at how good you are and how good your current run's going. Like, being consistent on a thing like that is ridiculously good. Oh yeah, this map. You got to go up, haven't you? And take some down ramps. Get some more speed. Oh, really nicely up. Beautiful double stack of a rocket. Then, yeah, it almost certainly is better to go tight on the inside. I agree. Rather than trying to blast around the back corner. I think in Quake 3 it might be worth plasmering around that back wall. But I don't think Xonotic is quite worth it. Oh, that was really good. That was really good. This map's another one of those spacing maps. So you've got to try and get across to those corners. Then try and hit the down ramps. If you go a little bit too fast, you won't hit the down ramp. And if you go a little bit too slow, you won't hit the up ramp in the right place. And you won't be able to make the corner cuts. Or you won't be able to go as far on the corner cuts if you're slightly too far over. And I think you can overjump that finish as well. I seem to have a memory of something at that finish myself. Either that or it just bonks it a bunch of times. It's likely. This is a map I think it's all about patience. These really big wide strafey maps. They're about patience in waiting until you turn. Keeping on the gas, keep on the strafe as long as possible, because you know you're going to make it around the corner because it's so wide. So why not go a little bit longer, get it right up to the corner before you drop it. Yeah, I think this ends part 1, so there'll be a little bit of a cut here and we'll roll through on the videotape. Alright, jump cut in the audio, and I'm eating an orange, and we resume. With some more rockets. Oh, nice. I wonder at what point routing to get on top of those becomes faster, if it's just always faster to stay lower. There definitely feels like a few points where a bit of optimization could give you a few more rockets for speed. But here's one. I was glad I paused. I mentioned it after I paused. Glad that I paused here, because now I can actually pay attention to a long full weapon map. Obviously it's a crappy full weapon map because you always have every weapon, but it's interesting to see which weapons get used. And when weapons just don't get used. Yeah. So, the stream title was correct last time, but I think the VOD title is incorrect from last stream. Because I can't remember if I changed it before I pressed stream. Because the title of the VOD will be whatever you started on. Which is why there was a VOD for a while. It was officially... Yes, the VOD might not be right. Although I've got to be honest, I've forgotten what month we're on. We are on June. Okay. It's all blending together. As I'm recording this, it's the end of August. You'll probably be seeing this video sometime. Oh well, this video will be uploaded when you're seeing it. Who knows? Video will be uploaded sometime early September. And hopefully by the end of September, we're caught up in October. Well, hopefully September comes out early October. And then October, November, yada yada. What do you mean still watching? I've never done that before while I've been doing this. Like... It didn't do that on the video I was watching earlier. Which I was watching for a full hour straight. Or either last night or Friday night? I think last night. I was just playing Xonotic and listening to a podcast on the other screen. Like podcast on YouTube. Hour or so. Oh, I remember this map. I'm actually getting excited about the World Cups coming in. I've kind of decided I'm going to try and just take it chill and see how it goes. Instead of like last year I did set myself that top 25 goal. This year I'm just coming in with nothing. In terms of like pre-practice. And I have goals for the winter of IRL speedrunning on the bike. Because it turns out that there's a thing called fastest known times, which I've known about for a while, but it turns out that fastest known times have a winter category. Now I'm interested. Now I just need to find some that are near enough to me that I can get to them. There's a load for running, but they all take routes that wouldn't be possible to do on a bike fastest known time. Just for safety. Or they start becoming road routes and you're like, fuck that. Like for me it's got to be a longer. Maybe a 25 mile sort of mostly off-road. Which near me, difficult. go, Banano! Nicely maintained. Nearly caught up with that pre-fire rocket. Could actually become a thing to catch up with the pre-fire rocket at some point. Which is also quite funny because then you've got to start aiming your exit from the teleporter. Like at the last moment you gotta flick. Oh, this is going to be absolutely mad. This run is just... You've got to very carefully clip that, both of those two checkpoints. Oh, wow. Impressive. Holy shit. Yeah, there probably is more than one record for that Moro colours. Let's have a look. This right month, yeah. Let's load up my spreadsheet. Map name, Moro colours. No, only the one. Only the one record. For this month at least. Set on the 15th. Wait, so we're more than half of the way through the month already? Apparently? That feels so wrong. Because there's 50 in the next playlist. And we're not... Yeah, so we're just about... Yeah, we're halfway through now. But we shouldn't be. That means that the tail end had more records in it. Because of the way I do it based on upload date, so that being halfway through the month in actual record set date. Wait, what? No wonder Furious is winning this map. This is probably a map that the guys actually played Duel on. Yeah, it is. I mean, anytime you get the lightning gun, it's going to be a route that goes all over the place. That thing gives you about a grenade's worth of knockback from just tapping the mouse as fast as you can, or like a normal click, and can then just be. This is a. Just catching the edge of everything. This is a run that's just going to look so easy. But I can tell you from experience, there are so many things that can slow you down, so many things that can just completely bonk you and lose all your speed, and so many things that can like literally lose all your speed, like running into a proper wall rather than just sort of halving your speed like an up ramp. But that just looked so easy. Nice route there. Good speed on that bounce pad. It's difficult to start getting speed after. Nicely. Nicely. So we don't even want the grenade launcher because we have infinite Hagar and we're going to get the rocket over the top. Ooh, nice. Is this out and back? Yeah. It's really difficult to time that grenade because the grenade doesn't explode when it hits the floor. It explodes slightly higher, so you have to shoot your rocket to then get second bounced by the grenade. Oh, nice, we had a noise change. Quick world maps though, makes sense to have one of the funnier noises. That's a pretty good route. Oh, nice. Really nice there. Good. Just the right bounce. Look straight up. I wonder how many hours I've now watched the that ending piece for this bit. It's on for I think 5 seconds at the end of every run or something. So if it's on for 5 seconds times the 254 I think by 60. So on this I'm gonna watch it for 21 minutes on this one. Assuming that's roughly the same on each of them. I've watched it for more than an hour. Nicely done. I mean, it already does. That is an advert. Hey, Flo. These are the good full rocket runs, where you're just scraping everything so tight, keeping the speed, somehow nailing every rocket to boost you off the back walls, rather than what tends to happen with me, where it just slows me down and then I end up running, waiting until my rocket's reloaded. Yeah. Guy was going so fast he went straight through the handrail. Ah, here's the other Miro map. When I looked earlier for the Miro Colours one, I saw that there was 2 Miro maps. Oh, nice little slick. Oh, this... I'm pretty sure that desert kills you, so he's just hit directly. This bit's absolutely mad to get up there, because that's not a bounce pad. That's just jump pad. And getting all of that together, plus that shortcut in the middle, which I'm pretty sure, like I said, the sand will kill you, so you have to land on that little boulder or whatever. Flat orange, just absolute strafe madness. I mean, yeah, you do just have to strafe good. Like, that's all you've got to do. Now, executing that, you know, it's the same thing as like track running or track cycling. All you've got to do is run or cycle faster than the other blokes round that circle. Like, it's not hard. And shit, 100 metres and 200 metres are a straight line, aren't they? Or just 100. Yeah, track's 400 metres. 100 metres is just a straight line. So all you got to do is just run down there faster than everyone else. Another look at this mad route. Avoiding picking up the LG there, which is very interesting. Looks to be a similar route, but avoided the LG. Exactly. Exactly. Get rid of the other folks and you are first. The best part is I recently looked up time trialing in cycling, and my local club time trial, I would likely be one of the first few to set off, but even if I was the first person to set off, it would be unlikely that I would be the first person to finish. Because there would most likely be someone who could do it a minute faster than me behind me. You set off at 1 minute intervals on the road. Okay. This was an interesting map we saw last month, with Jaska clearly just skipping that whole ledge. Jaska clearly going for a fast practice and ended up with 26-minute time on a map he could have definitely completed. But he wanted something fast, he got that fast thing. And now DeFraG has gone and beaten him with much less tech, just really no stopping. There was a lot of tech in Jaska's run that had to go right. Not quite sure, can't remember the run well enough to remember what was missing, but I remember there was some much more double stacking of rockets and that sort of thing, and setups and being ahead and all that. Such a strange map with gravity shift. Nicely done though. The best way to get rid of other people, though, is to find a category that no one's ever done before, and likely will ever do. Find some really niche categories. Or be old. That tends to be one. Generally every cycling world championships, there's some really old guy who turns up from the country that it's being hosted in and just rides the race. And it's just like, yep, world champion now, because I was the only over 85 that could turn up and ride 30k. That happened this year, but the guy said he'd be back next year. Worst part was he was faster than me. I know for a fact I couldn't ride that route as fast as he did. Did have a nice bike, but don't think I could have done it even if I got mine set up for time trialing. This is such an awkward map because the BFG is so immediately powerful and there's no way to, like, you can slow down horizontally by backpedaling, but you can't slow down vertically by doing anything. Unless you can shoot above you, but then that's really difficult and generally quite imprecise. Like there, you just kind of have to wait till you hit the roof and then just come back down. Most of the time it's fine because the roof is the top of everything. Nice run though. A lot of people going for DeFraG World Cup maps. I know this was the month of HP mapping. People going for maps on HP. But a surprising number of those being specifically Quake 3 DeFraG World Cups. Rather than Xonotic DeFraG World Cups. Oh, that was a nice pre-fired rocket. Definitely get a little bit more out of that, but to even hit that from that distance, to hit anything there, pretty impressive. That shows how many runs have gone into it to know where that rocket's going to land. And to be confident enough, because I tend to not be confident enough to do that sort of thing, unless it's needed. In which case it tends to be a lot easier to set up. Just because the chances of me getting there, getting off the ground a bit slower, and head bonking it. Yeah, I suppose. I suppose as well, DeFraG World Cup maps with the recent changes to help us get better Quake 3 weapon accuracy. They're pretty good. Ah, so that's the route. Round the outside. Oh, nice. Good cut. Yeah, that outside cut definitely harder than it looks. You need almost the most speed you can get sort of thing. Otherwise you're going to be cut off, and it's got to be smooth, got to be everything. I think that's one of the things about strafe maps. They are always harder than they look. And it's really difficult to show someone who's never even played the map how difficult some of these tricks are. And some of these little things. Because even if you've just not played the map versus not played Xonotic at all, like, you probably understand, you know, there's a tendency to discount the amount of you just hit this checkpoint 4 times in a row. Yeah, there's a tendency to discount the amount of like skill it takes to do certain things, if you don't know anything about something. Because you just kind of go, oh well, of course that must be difficult, but it looks easy. You know, because you just don't understand. You think that if you could do the strafing bit of it that you don't understand, like if you understood the green bar, you'd think, oh, I can do that. I can do the rest of it. It's like, no. I know there's a thing in cycling and running that's like, oh yeah, well I could set a marathon world record if I trained hard enough and was able to push those watts. I was able to do those numbers of power output. I know you couldn't. And also, if that was the case, why haven't you done it? Oh, that was nice. Little jump in, jump down onto the little edge and then double jump. Very clean. Riffo taking this record back. Slightly slower start from, or closer to 0 start, which could actually be considered faster. Shiro started at 40 ups. Yeah, that is also how we get people. You get someone, oh yeah, well if it looks easy then just finish the map. And then they'll finish the map and go, I want to try and beat that time. Because I know I got it. I get it all the time. I do not like running as a sport. And I did a 5k one time just to kind of prove to a couple of people who'd said I couldn't run. I was like, well, I'll just do one then. So I did one. And it sucked. I didn't enjoy it when I got back. I absolutely obliterated myself on a 25 mile yesterday. Oh, that pre-run's brutal though. Yeah. Got back. Don't enjoy running. But then the next day I was like, but I could probably go a bit faster. I could do this and go a bit faster, especially on my route, which is off-road, so there's technicality involved to it. I could get over one gate a lot faster than I did. I nearly decked it on another gate, and I basically stood around for 10 seconds waiting for a car. So with a bit of luck on the one road crossing I've got to do, I thought that this was map 5 from last year's XTWC. Very similar style. Wow. Oh. The precursor to that map. Or potentially came in after. That's really cool the way the weapons are picked up actually. They're really cool. That's a very nice map. Ash's weapon combo maps are always incredibly good. Always built with, because they're built with Xonotic in mind, they just have something about them. Difficult to quite tell exactly like what it is. But they do. Whoops, didn't mean to pause that. That's a pretty sick map. Get the speed up and then just go whoom, 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 whoom. The flow. More reflow now. This time with a Hagar. It's very interesting the difference between how we use the Hagar, where once you're up to speed it's a lot more useful. Whereas the Plasma, because of Plasma ground boosts, Plasma's really useful at 0 speed. Yeah, like fuck, we're watching the entirety of Backless 25, especially since I'm pretty sure the guy said he beat it like 4 or 5 times. Back. No, that's not searching. Back. I know, he only beat it once. That's really surprising that that was the fastest thing to do, rather than to... I mean, maybe the guy's just bored. It's clearly not playing perfectly 8.5, 9 minutes into this run. Yep. Riveting content there. Perfect music though. Just carb music as you go. Do, do, do. Oh, that was nice. Keeping speed through those corners got to be really difficult. For some reason I feel like Backless was designed with limited ammo in mind. I'm not quite sure what gives me that impression, but I feel like it might have been designed with limited ammo in mind. Get there. Yeah, so the world record in Quake 3 is 25 minutes. Oh no. That's not by date. I always forget that does that. The world record in Quake 3 is 13 minutes 22 seconds. So potentially you do get all the weapons. Interesting. What's the record in VQ3? Only one person has completed it and it's 28 minutes in VQ3. Slowest completion we have on record, at least. Online only on servers when you're logged in, yada yada yada. Slowest one's 37 minutes. For Quake 3. It's interesting to compare the two times because it can sometimes tell you whether weapons are infinite and broken, or it can tell you that Xonotic has stronger sections. Oh no. The last time we saw this map, that didn't happen. Just brutal. Just brutal on that end. Ace to Dick PG. Clean and tasty run though. That classic Nero over the head flick. I think I jumped on for a few minutes while this map was being played in this month. I don't remember the record being set, so it probably wasn't this session. These tricks are very difficult though, and there's a couple of different sections where you've got to go a different way to get different spacing depending on your speed. And it's constantly changing. I know it's changed between records and stuff like that as well. Why is my front light charged so much quicker than my back light? They were on for the exact same amount of time, and the front light's already charged and has been, I think, for like 10 minutes. Like they were switched on and they were plugged in at the same time. Ah, well. Kota race. How weird's it gonna be? I think you've just got to go 1 2 2 1 1 2 or something. Big time saving in that one though. So that's probably not been super whatever. By the way, the audio levels for the music, like, I'm not blasting over the music levels, am I? Or, no, the music levels aren't, like, overpowering my speaking, are they? I haven't fucked this up completely. I may not have actually checked it at all this recording session. Did do last time. I just realised last time I'm pretty sure I could hear the gunfire more than the music. It could just be this is a song that's a little bit louder. Big boost at the end there seemed to get like almost a second, almost like a grenade at the top. Oh, nice offer there. Very nice finish that. Very clean. Back on that weird map that everyone got confused about when I played it the other day. But apparently, so the route is what? 3 times into this. Then down the hole. And then you're done. 19 dead. Oh, yes. These are the weapon maps we love. Just making everything look like slick, the speed that they're going. Pinging round walls. Oh, another really difficult, cool spacing map. A map where catching the down ramps is very important, but as is not clipping any of the blocks. And managing to just make that last turn. You can see just the fighting of oversteering into the slowdown section, but also enough to actually make it round the corner and not just go straight on. Because if you oversteer, then you end up with what car people would call understeer, where you just carry on going. And if you don't turn enough, you also crash on the outside. It's like that Richard Hammond thing about oversteer versus understeer. Except both of them involve you crashing and dying on the outside rather than one in the inside and one on the outside. What a name. Inappropriate Eve. Coming in, doing some spam. Don't buy viewers, kids. You don't need them. Is this the map I think it is? Yeah, I think it is the map. I think this is the map I think it is. It's a really difficult section through here. Terrible graphical quality, but there's corners to these edges. It's almost like a circle rather than, or like an octagon rather than a pure square. So you got to try not to hit those, or if you really want to, hit the down ramps on them. Getting round it, super difficult getting round those corners without bonking stuff, and then you got to get the spacing right to jump across the gap. That pre-run, absolutely brutal, as has been previously mentioned. I think the pre-run is longer than the actual run, and it's definitely longer than the actual run when you inevitably get your spacing a bit wrong and bonk that first defense thing. Oh, it's just a run-on of really difficult spacinged, like constant clippy type maps. Even getting around that last corner looks easy, really difficult. Save a lot of time by getting to the inside corner, taking the shortest line. We're going to see the jump again. We are. Not as clean as the last one. The last one you'd almost not notice it. That one definitely looked like a bit of a flick up. You know, you could see it happen. That's a cool looking map. Oh, nicely done. Didn't quite get as much of the grenade as he probably would have liked, but enough to get up there. Oh, nicely done to get over the top of that little bar thing. Don't know what step. Don't know what you want to call it. Ah, we're at the end of the playlist, which I think is a good time to call this little section. So there's going to be an audio jump cut, and we will be back with the next half, or the tailing little bit. Alright, hopefully that jump cut doesn't come too suddenly. But here we go. CGS Comp 06. We started with something very similar to this on the last cut. Oh well. It's a good map. Good rockets. Smashing. Smashing it. I've had a quick scroll through the maps at the end of this month, and we are definitely still within that that rocket sort of section, the weaponsy section, and the hardcore parkour section. Interesting, like one rocket bounce up there. I wonder what's that for. I'd have thought just off the edge, but unless it like perfects spacing, sort of shoot as you hit your head. Could be that. I was talking about trying a Hagar map. Turns out getting on certain maps, catching yourself in the Hagar fall, quite easy. Hagar's pretty powerful as long as you're not falling too fast. As long as you kind of either stay flat or a little bit downhill, you know, a little bit of negative ups, you can pretty much catch yourself. The map specifically that I went and did, I couldn't finish it. It had like what was probably supposed to be plasma jumps. I can kind of Hagar wall, but I couldn't keep it going and like keep the speed and make everything. English accents aren't made for narrating, they're just the one that you're used to narrating. So it makes sense for them to be narrating. It is definitely something that it's difficult to replace, because every time I watch cycling commentary, like there's a channel that uploads old Tour de France highlight things, and for some reason the way it's cut, there's an Australian guy that talks about what the stage is going to be, and then it cuts to the Phil Lidgett and Paul Sherwin, who are very English, their commentary, and it's like, dudes, the Australian bit feels so out of place, even though it's literally just him going and explaining, and now I've watched so many of them that it makes sense. Part of that could be that like I've listened to Phil Lidgett and Paul Sherwin since I was 3, but it still feels out of place. Because I assume if I watched the tour in, like, some of these are 2003 Tour de France's, so I would have been watching them at the time. There are other accents that work for commentating, but it depends on the sort of commentary and narration that you want. I've just fine-tuned this narration voice, because this is like, I don't really have a normal voice, but this is definitely a voice that I try and put on. Drunk Scottish is good. Drunk Scottish is a great accent for something not not requiring a great deal of finesse. You know, something super high paced. If you pair that with a second commentary person who's doing like the finer details of something, that would be brilliant. You have like a drunk Scottish guy just doing the overview of like, oh, that's what's happening right now. And just go, fucking hell, look at this guy going fast. He's absolutely rapid. He's got a big gun. Look at that. Get Crazy Al in here. Drunk Scottish guy who runs into a biker? No. I have not seen that. That was nice. Yeah, find it and send it to me. That seems like an incredible video. Quick Grass is still getting absolutely maximised. We have another Backley's 25 record. Let's jump to the bit where Riffo was fucking up last time. Is it about here? I think it was about here. No, I don't think it was here. I mean, he got caught on a fucking bullshit ramp bug at the bottom of that. If anyone manages to ever get a clean run on this, on Backley's, then fair play to them. Honestly, they've probably spent half of their life trying to grind through it. No ramp bugs. No, you know, you're coming through here and you're gonna hit something. Like, that was pretty clean, and then you get a ramp bug. You know? But that first part was pretty clean from Riffo with the rockets, even though he hit a down, hit an up ramp. Didn't really matter too much. Wasn't in a bad place. Really should watch the beginning of some more of these and then like skip the end. Waiting for it. On his last one, I think he did really clean through there. I remember this section. Either his last one or whoever was doing it before went really clean through that section. Just boom, boom, rocket up. Ah. Proper music for going on an adventure, this. Yeah, wonder if there is anything you can do about that. He's forgotten which way he's supposed to go. You can tell it's 16 and a half minutes into a run there. Pretty clean. That's a pretty, like, there's nothing to it section. The one we just saw. Pretty clean getting through all the rockets. Like, there's nothing to remember where you go. I don't mean there's nothing to it in terms of difficulty. There's nothing to remember where you're going. And just kind of managing to get through that section fairly clean. Pretty good. And then is he going to bonk his head? He's managed to avoid bonking his head this time. What a legend. Didn't twat his head. Number 1 vote. Big lad is at it again. Oh shit. Oh. Good enough to get that before I forget where I put it. I'm just fiddling with the bike light and taking the clip on and off and just lobbed it across the room. So I want to try and make it easier to take on and off, so I'm just kind of fiddling with it all the time. That was nice. Good run. Oh, nice start there, managing to get get a good rocket where there's kind of a back wall, but you have to be gentle with it. Dog's going mad outside. That could get annoying. We've got an extra dog for 3 weeks. We're dog sitting a friend's dog, and our dog doesn't bark when other dogs bark on the street. He just chills out, except for when there's another dog here. If there's another dog here, he's gonna bark when another dog barks. And it's like, dude, you ignore dogs all the time. Oh, that was really clean. Now I can see why that first one ended. Holy shit, that's difficult. Is that Packer just deciding to make a CZ map in Zon? Nicely done from Foreverlast. Just have this cranked at 2 times pace. This is a pretty basic but just really long map, but we're seeing it get pushed, and yeah, like, to me this is just brutal. For this long, that's an endurance event, full on. Like, this is like the Xonotic equivalent of a 50-mile time trial. I do find it quite funny that every national British time trial race this year, the 10, the 25, the 50, the 100, all held on 10-mile tracks, and just done a certain number of times. The 25 was just do it 2.5 times. It was an out and back loop. So you just went out and didn't come back. And that was the 25. It's like, fuck's sake. There's plenty of really good 25 loops. Everyone just wants straight up A roads. That's the problem. It's the fastest is straight up A roads. Yeah, it's basically just swimming up and down a lane. My local is slightly different. You kind of do 4 miles straight up an A road. Then you do 3-mile kind of triangle circle on B roads to loop back round to the same A road on the other side and bomb it back down. Oh shit, we're still at double speed. Oh well, that's a shit map anyway. And there's Bunny. I'm still bored of it after we played it that many times at one point. It's like just after XGWC, I think. Just playing, that was it. I've got to get out to my local 10s next year. Figure out what the fuck I'm going to do though, because they finish late. Starting, first rider kicks off 7:30. And it's like, yeah, there's like a half a chance that I am the first rider to kick off, because I might be the slowest. But if you've got 30 people, the last rider's going to kick off at 8-minute intervals. You're kicking off first rider at 7:30. Oh, nicely on top of there. I think we've seen all the other records come from taking the ramp obviously slower because the spacing wouldn't allow. Big all over the head from you. Oh shit. I'm very knackered today. But I thought I was on July, and then I looked and realised that I was still on June. I honestly thought I was on July and was like, oh yeah, well I'll just finish up July and then we'll be on to August at the correct time. No, I've still got July to do. Still got this of June, then July, and then we'll be caught up. And then we'll be alright. September, by the end of September, we'll be caught up. September will release in October. Beautiful spaced. That's a really difficult map. Like, to find the spacing on it, you just end up hitting half of everything. Oh, I feel like this map would absolutely kill me with what just happened there. You get the rocket launcher taken away from you just before you go over the top. And I bet I'd get just to the trigger to take the rocket launcher away and not quite get over the top. I like it when we see fails. For one, it means there's very little pre-run. But also it means you can see when someone's gone through and like you can see the section they failed on. You can see what happened. Ooh, that can definitely be cleaned up. That last rocket, if that had landed, straight into the finish. Keep all the speed. Beautiful. Beautiful rocketry. Not elementary. Full on. Full rocketry this. Crack him. That's the other one of seeing the ends of runs. When you see the end of a completed run, especially on a map like this that I know isn't new. Like, it makes sense on new runs that someone's just bang, 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 and they get that run that happens to be the last. You don't quite know it's the best, because sometimes you'll see like world records being set while you're the only player on, or the only player that's going to get a record. You know, everyone else is just off the pace. I've been definitely in the party of a few people off the pace while someone good is on there. Let's go, Vert. Let's go. Vert's my outsider dark horse for XDWC this year. That run, if you can take that run with that music, this is just my excuse to sit back, listen to some instrumental music, and just watch really good gameplay. Because sometimes I'll play and listen to instrumental music, but I won't be seeing good gameplay on my screen. I bonk that every time. That little flash of blue you saw, that's an up ramp. I hit that every time. I always forget that it does the da-da-da-da-da, because I mostly also play with music, all sounds off in game. That was nicely done. Oh wow! I thought they bonk. I thought that was a bonk, and then just it was just enough high enough to get in and then get everything over. Yeah, so did have some practice to see how easy it is to do these sort of Hagar climbs, and especially the catches. The main thing was the catches. That catch before, very difficult. The one where you're kind of coming down at quite some speed by the time you catch yourself. And that one, very difficult. But, oh wait, hold on. That's a run with a fail. That's interesting. I thought there was a good clean run on every plasma run. Apparently not. Either that or the map got reset for some reason. But yeah, catching yourself like that, where you're moving upwards or moving, you know, you're not moving downwards, quite easy. Catching yourself moving a little bit downwards, yeah, make sure you get yourself in the right position, but you should be alright, especially if you don't need to go up, you just need to kind of slow your fall a bit. Catching yourself while you're moving quite quickly down, there's a good chance that you are just going to blow straight through the backsplash and nothing's going to happen. That was a ridiculous... It's so weird seeing that first section. In fact, I'm actually going to rewind that. So this first section, timer's off, right? So we shoot up in the air, boom. Instant, really fast. Then we just stopped, waiting. And then just skip half of it. It is interesting because, of course, those maps are made for Quake 3. And Quake 3 doesn't have instant detonation of grenades unless you put a specific wall piece, like floor material, that makes grenades instantly detonate. So Xonotic having the ability to both instantly detonate and shoot non-instant detonation grenades really can speed up and open up different versions of that, of those sort of maps, the grenade run maps. I think less so with the plasma run maps, but there are a couple of things that are slightly different. Because I do feel like there's a bit more of a fling to the Hagar than there is to the plasma. I really like this map. I really like the texture of this map and the fact that it all just flows really well together. And other than that, teleporter being a bit buggy sometimes, although teleporters have recently got a lot better. It's yeah, it's a very, very nice course. It's interesting how different the two courses, Cool Roy and Cool Roy Slick, are. Like, we only saw Cool Roy Slick not that long ago, but the different routes that you take, because you can just nip into places. Yeah. So that's instant explosion. I think our secondaries will instant explode on it as well. I'm not sure. That might not be converted. It might not. It may be one of those things that someone thought, that's not worth actually converting. Or nobody thought to add to the conversion type stuff in Xonotic DeFraG, because we have primary and secondary fire. But yeah, that's why you'll often see places where you're supposed to grenade having a big green patch. Or being differently coloured. My least favourite thing is when they're not differently coloured. Sometimes it's fine because it's like, oh yeah, the whole floor, and then you just kind of walk up to that wall. But when they're not differently coloured and you're trying to do a jump and you just time it wrong in Quake 3 and shoot the floor and your grenade just bounces instead of exploding you. You know, oh, for God's sake. That is quite annoying. And also just not knowing. It doesn't really matter because obviously it tends to be that you're getting a lot of runs in, so you'll shoot the grenade up in the air, it'll come back down and immediately explode, and you go, ah, I just need to point downwards then. Although speaking of pointing downwards, I was thinking the other day, how would DeFraG have evolved if it was first made for Quake 1? Because obviously Quake 1 run exists, but is much, I think as far as I'm aware it came after Quake 2 because people had to discover strafe jumping. Oh, is that the end of it? Well, we might as well talk about this. Yeah, people had to discover strafe jumping, and then they went into let's just scroll back up, hold on. Put that Backley's one on. There it is. So yeah, people had to discover strafe running obviously, and then Quake 2 came out so soon after that. As far as I'm aware, Quake 2 run came out before DeFraG, but then DeFraG was obviously the one that really took it. Yeah, that was a lot quicker than I thought it was going to be. I had 52 videos in this, and as far as I was aware, in the first, I didn't actually bother doing this one, having a look how long it was, but the first one I had an average of 52 seconds of video. So this second half must have just been way less. I was kind of expecting, oh, this will be like 50 minutes. But I suppose we did skip this video. But, hey, yeah. So yeah, Quake 2 run, I'd be interesting to see how it would have evolved, because obviously you can't look straight down. So perfectly straight rocket jumps are very difficult in Quake 1 because you can't look straight down. So it would be very interesting to see how that would have evolved. You know, you would have been able to do this sort of stuff just exactly the same. You know, and this would have even been easier because you wouldn't have been able to look perfectly straight up. So while you've got basically nothing, but the ability to do, obviously plasma doesn't exist, but boomstick is big. And I think it would have probably absolutely solidified CPM movement as the only thing you could do in Quake 3. But yeah, thank you very much for watching. I'm going to go set up July. Thank you to these names for doing records. Thank you to everybody for watching. See you in the next month.